No doubt you'll have heard it a million times already. AI is the future, and it's going to revolutionise everything. And there may be some truth in that, who am I to say? But let's be real. It's been bigged up to be so much more than it is, and it's vastly overstated how good generative AI actually is at creating decent images. But there is one thing that it is undeniably good at. Horror. Or unintentional horror, anyway. It seems like when you want it to create something horrific, it doesn't understand and it comes back with something relatively normal. But when you want it to do something relatively normal, it mangles what it tries to make. It messes it up. And it creates horrific amalgamations of God only knows what. In many cases, I think it's pretty fair to say it makes some monsters. Some proper SCP type stuff. Everyone's talking about how AI is going to create the next Mona Lisa, the next mega art marvel. And I personally highly doubt that. I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest it never will, coming from many different corners. But that's what a lot of people seem to believe. But in reality, it makes stuff like this. And these aren't just glitches. It does this with such confidence. These are deliberate creations. The generative AI is so confident that it's doing the right thing, that it's doing what it's been asked to do when it makes these things. That it's like telling a child to draw something and having it draw something on paper and tell you that it's right. These are some creepypasta type creations. Something straight out of a horror film or a horror game or something. It's uncanny. When you ask it to do simple things like change the background, it often messes up the entire face, changes it into some monster rather than just changing the background like it was asked to. But then when you ask it to mess up someone's face, or remove all the facial features or create something actually scary, it creates something that looks childish. It doesn't even come close to hitting the mark when you ask it to actually do that. But it seems to make some pretty scary stuff when you don't ask it to. It's like it's scared or just unable to do anything around a human face. Or hands, it's notorious for that as well. So before we start singing praises of generative AI and the future of creativity, I think there's a lot to bear in mind. Not only the fact that a lot of the generative AIs out there just steal art off the internet, which is, one big controversial point in and of itself. But when you ask it to do something pretty straightforward, it too frequently creates mangled messes. So when people are singing its praises, bigging it up to be the future, let's just remember the nightmares that it's already given us. Because when it comes to making faces, or frankly anything around actual humans, AI is more like a horror movie director than it is a Renaissance artist. Or a photographer. It's a little way off yet. So I'll leave you with this pretty face and a small message. If you want any image of any person, just get a photographer. Sound for watching. I'll see you in the next one.